Welcome to the Idea Climbing Podcast. If you want great things to happen in your life, you have to create the opportunity and power to manifest them. You just need the right strategies. I discussed some of them in this episode with my guest, Francois Lupien. Francois is a dynamic executive coach, mentor, and speaker whose experience includes successfully working with Tony Robbins, Stephen Covey of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and as a consultant with Bob Proctor from the movie The Secret. Achieving excellence in everything he puts his mind to, Francois has been a Taekwondo gold medal Canadian champion, a top real estate agent for 11 years with Remax, and a serial entrepreneur with multiple successful six-figure businesses. Francois is here to serve and make you thrive. We dive into topics such as how to start your manifesting journey, how to keep on keeping on during the dark times after you make a commitment to excellence, how to stay focused on success and manifesting what you desire, the one thing above all else that you need to do to manifest greatness in your life, and more golden nuggets of advice. You're going to love this show. Francois, thank you for making the time to be on the Idea Climbing Podcast. I appreciate you.
Hey, Mark, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me. Looking forward to the conversation.
And we're going to talk about manifesting great things in your life. Before we dig into the strategies, the tips, the tricks, when it comes to manifesting greatness, how did you discover it and get into it? What's your story there?
Manifesting greatness. Well, it starts with when I was maybe 6 years old. You're going to go, what? Yes, my mom had, when she was young, roller blades. Roller skates, not roller blades, 4 wheels, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. It was an adjustable thing. And she decided to put them on little cowboy boots of mine. She says, go for it. Well, I tried this thing and I fell and it hurt like crazy. I came back home. I was not happy. And she looks at me. She says, what's the matter? She says, well, it hurts. I don't want to do this. She goes, come with me. And I remember, as if it was yesterday, my mom having an adjustment key. She took those roller skates, put them on her feet, and started demonstrating how she would roller skate on the street as I was sitting on the sidewalk. And then she comes back to me and she knelt in front of me and she says, you can do anything you want in life if you really want it. Are you ready? I said, yes. So she put me on. And then as I started going, she says, you got this. And she went back into the house. Well, she created a monster. A week later, I put a rope on one of my friend's bike and I was water skiing, so to speak, with my roller skates on the street. And so from then, it's just been on and on. My mom says, whatever you want, you go for it, you make it happen. How does greatness can be created? I would say with someone believing in you first, then believing in yourself.
How do you find that someone? I mean, that seems like the ideal mentor. How do you go about finding somebody to believe in you that way and help you in that way?
That's a very interesting question. I was blessed that it was family. Yet for anybody else, search, dig, knock on many doors, ask. It says, knock and it shall be open, and ask and it shall be answered. You need to ask. And one of the best ways I feel, because there's so many people in this world right now, that once you find someone, try and get referrals or an understanding of what that person is doing, because many people may look good on camera, quote unquote, and yet they don't deliver. So do your due diligence, but don't be afraid to talk to more people. I have a belief that everybody is good. Everybody deep down is good. And if someone's having a bad day or something and they're not really feeling well, there's something broken inside of them for now. So don't be the one that kicks them. Be the one that fixes and uplifts. And as you do that, one of my great mentor, Bob Proctor, says, leave everyone with the impression of increase. So make everybody feel better after they met with you than before they met you. So in a nutshell, you got to look for it. You got to find out. You got to actually be able to figure out who's who, what's what, and dig, ask deep questions. And if there's a connection, well, go for it. You can't do it alone. You and I cannot do it alone. That's for sure. We need others. I always say, if I look at you, I see you this way. But when you look at me, you see all of this, which I do not. So your perspective on these things can enable me to refocus and make things happen in a better way. So it's the same thing for each and every one of us. There's things that we don't see and we don't know, and others can help us find out.
So when you're grateful enough, and a better word, when you're fortunate enough to find somebody like that, How do you start that relationship? What does that look like? What are your responsibilities in building a relationship like that?
Having conversations, number one, and asking the real questions. It's something that it needs to go deep, not superficial, and not necessarily go about, for example, if someone has a bio sheet on them, that's fine, but go deeper, pretty much like you're doing right now. You're going deeper and finding out what is the essence. Is this just fluff, or is there some substance to it? And once you do that, you'll have that thing called gut feeling. If it feels good in your gut, go for it. And then let's also be honest about this. Though, as you develop that relationship and you feel good, the more you pay, the more you pay attention. So this thing of having the greatness revealed in you by watching YouTube videos, not gonna happen. You need to have someone that's been there, done that, sold the t-shirt to the event, and is able to actually enable you to get to the next level. That is something that is important. If I may, I did 1,000 interview study, 1,000, and I asked the people about the income they were making and how many mentors or coaches they had. And by mentor or coaches, I mean high ticket people. 5,000, 10,000, 50,000, $100,000 per. And here's the answer. People making $100,000 or less have zero high ticket
Oh,
coaches. Zero. 100 to 250, they have one. 250 to 500, they have two. 500 to a million, they have three or four. And I'll let you be the guess, or I'll let you guess what is a million plus of income, how many mentors or high level coaches these people have. Just try and give me a number.
10.
Actually, for anywhere from 8 to 10. And so people says, what? They spend like 100,000 plus 200,000 on a coach on a yearly basis, or coaches, because the more they go, the more specific they get into it. The reason is yes. Wouldn't you pay 10 or 20% of your income in order to keep on growing? Once that shifts in your mind, then you're liberated and you just keep on growing. Personally, I've spent over $300,000 on myself on coaches, and I will spend another 500,000 for sure,
Mhm.
guaranteed. Because when you do that, the information that you get from them, you can then duplicate and help others with it. So you pay once and you can collect many times. Get a coach, get a high level coach, get someone that can guide you and bring you to the next level. Invest in yourself. Absolutely. Yes.
So let's go with the people that are listening or watching right now and they're thinking that's great, but right now I don't have the money to invest in myself. What can they do to help manifest things? Whether it's mentors, is it daily activities, is it practices? What do you do to get to the level where you can hire a coach?
Excellent. Thank you so much. As some of you may know, I was national trainer for Tony. And Tony, when he started, wanted to and learn about Jim Rohn. And he went and see Jim Rohn, says, I like what you're doing. I'd like to work for you. He says, no problem, buy a kit. He says, how much for the kit? $2,000. I don't have $2,000. He says, well, come back when you have it. And Tony says, well, I don't have it. He says, do whatever it takes. And many people don't know this, but Tony sold his car. He sold his car. And then when he sold his car, he had the money and he started doing. Then he asked Jim Rohn the following: what is it that people are doing? It says they're getting one appointment a day. One appointment a day, that's what they're doing. And Tony decided to have 5 appointments a day. So what happened is that in 1 week, Tony had the experience of others a month. And then you just keep on doing the math. And a lot of people says, Tony this, Tony that. Let me tell you, he paid the price. He used to do 200 conferences, workshops every single year for 10 years straight.
Mm.
That's paying the price. There is no elevator to success. I love this thing here. In order to become the 1%, you need to do what 99% of the people won't. Coming back to your questions, what if you don't have the money to do this? Borrow it. Ask your father, your grandma, sell something, sell your pool table, sell your car, and start going. Because when you invest that much of yourself into it, you will pay attention. And when you pay attention, you take action. Guess what? Action takes results, especially guided by someone who knows. Absolutely. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. And I'm curious, when it comes to manifesting greatness, could you go over some habits? What are some maybe habits you have, people that you've seen of, you've worked with have had? What kind of habits can you develop as a person if you want to manifest greatness?
Very good question. Let's go back. This is a gold medal. I'm a Canadian champion in Taekwondo, gold medal. So let me take that example for you at first. So here we are with the master. My first master was first Dan. It went all right. The second one was fourth Dan. That was good. The last one was ninth Dan. Well, the ninth Dan, sir, when he speaks and he says jump, you jump in the air, and while you're in the air, you say, "Oh, hi, sir." And so that's how it's done. And the ninth Dan guy costs way more. And so he instills in you, what is it that you want? And then when the competition was coming, gold medal. Okay, you want gold medal. Are you serious about wanting gold medal? Absolutely. So this is what you need to do. And so we came and we trained and we trained. And sometimes you didn't feel like training. Your friends were calling you saying, hey, let's go out, let's do this, let's do that. No, you had committed to do it. I have these things here on the wall, these 3 words. They're etched. Decide, commit, succeed. It can be that simple. If you make a decision on something, to decide means to cut, decide. You cut something off. So you make things out. When you decide that you're going to do something and then you commit, that means that you're not going to take no excuses from others or from yourself, which sometimes we're the best excuse makers. And then you commit. Once you commit and you show up again and again, you develop a discipline which is necessary for you to achieve the success that you want. It doesn't matter the field that you're in. If you make a decision on something, you commit to do the work, and you pay full price. You don't ask for a discount. And I'm talking about time, money, energy, everything that you got towards it. Success is inevitable. It's just a matter of time. If you work on yourself and you do the work, success is inevitable. It's only time that determines the difference. So you can only lose if you quit. If you keep on going, you got this. You go for it. And if you don't know how, seek out, gets back to where we started. Go to a coach that can show you how to do it. Absolutely. Yes.
Well, if it comes to a time commitment, it's not always going to be rose-colored glasses and everything. Everyone I meet, poof, it's magic. I'm successful. How do you keep on keeping on? Once you make the decision and the commitment, dark times are going to hit now and then. How do you keep on keeping on during those times?
Well, I have gold cards and I got them all over the place, everywhere. In the kitchen, in the bathroom, on my desk, in the rear view mirror in the car. Why am I saying this? Have you heard of our reticular activators?
Oh, the
Yes.
RAC or RAS, the reticular activating system. Yes.
Yes. And so therefore, anybody here really quick, if we're actually thinking of, hey, look around in the room that you're at, I'm going to make this very quick. Look around everything in your room, everything that's green, look for green. So everybody's looking for green. You look for green and you find it. And then I say, okay, close your eyes and then tell me everything that's blue. And you go, huh? What? And then I says, open your eyes. Then they open their eyes and all of a sudden, hey, there's blue here, there's blue there. And all of a sudden they see blue everywhere. Now the question is, did the blue miraculously appear because I said, look for blue? No, it was always there. And so it's your reticular activators that were not focused on what it needed to know. Bring it back to when you buy your car. I have a Lincoln MKX. It drives itself fantastic. When I first bought it, I get it, and then I see this thing everywhere now on street corners and parking lots. Did everybody decide to buy that car? No. Nevertheless, now my reticular activators are seeing it. Hence, landing the plane on this, when you have a goal card with you, that you constantly remind yourself of what it is that I'm looking for, even if you don't know how, it's going to show up. You don't know how to do it. Things are going to start to show up and appear. The blue is going to come out of the room because that's what you're looking for. This is the answer that people say, well, it can't be that easy. Yes, it is. It is. This is a Google. This is Google right here. You ask it dumb questions, going to give you dumb answers. Ask it good questions, going to give you good questions. And let's talk even about AI. People talk about AI, oh, this is good, this is not good. The better and more defined the prompts that you use for AI, the higher quality you will get. Same with this. So give it the quality that you want. And also, This costs, ladies and gentlemen, $1 at Walmart. And every day I write in it what I want my life to be. I write it and I write it and I write it and I write it. And the more I write it, the more ingrained it comes here. And then the more opportunities are coming up to fulfill what I wrote. Bob Proctor says, create your life with this little thing right here. Yeah, because writing causes thinking. And the thinking that you have creates images. And those images produce feelings inside of you, either feelings of, I don't want to do this, or feelings of, oh, yes, I want to do this. And then those feelings will put you into actions, and those actions will create results. The results that are in harmony with the thinking that you have. If your thinking is wrong, start to change it. Write what you want. And so you go to the source. Most people have the unfortunate habit or guidance saying, if you don't like the results that you get, change your actions. This is very narrow, limited belief that is doomed for frustration, because it's not the actions, it's the feeling that created, and it's the thought. And if you don't go further back the line, you'll never change something that is permanent. So you can, like they say, a paradigm shift, you need to go deeper to make it happen. And again, these things happen by the following. I like to say that for information to create transformation, you need integration. And that integration happens by elite coaching with spaced repetition. That's it. Of course, you need to have the desire, but that's what it is. So if you want info that you read to transform you need to integrate. Integrate with elite coaching with spaced repetition. And that's how you will create change and results that stick. Absolutely. I love it. You get me excited now.
I'd love to go back to the reticular activators. Once you note it, like you said, okay, look for green, look for blue, look for the Lincoln, whatever it might be. It sounds like focus is key. And focus, oh my God, without even getting into AI today, focus can be like ding, 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 ding. How do you keep your focus once you engage with the reticular activators?
This is very interesting. I'll show you a little something. My son told me, Dad, do you know that you can set it up that you tap 3 times and it gets black and white? So if you go on social media and you start looking at things and it sucks the time out of you, 1, 2, 3 tap, it gets black and white, gets boring, you let it go. You need to set up systems around you that will protect you. Only you can decide. But again, according to your personality, when you have a coach or someone, they can find out what works best for you. But that thing of focus is a muscle that you can learn. And actually, okay, here's something that Bob Proctor, who was my personal coach for 6 years, said. You want to practice your focus, you can take a candle and you light up the candle and you sit in front of your favorite chair and you just look at the flame. Think about nothing else and just look at the flame. And if you think you'll be able to just look at the flame and think of nothing else more than 1 second, you're dreaming. Not going to happen. Milliseconds is what you're going to be able to do. Nevertheless, maybe you could do 1 or 2 seconds. You're a genius if you do 2 seconds. But that simple exercise is going to help you to stay focused. I don't like candles, so the other way that you can do is with a dot. So I have a dot all the way at the end of my office there, and I just focus at the dot, and I relax, and I look at the dot. And then I'll transpose with Tony's material. Tony says, if you have success in one area of your life, you can transpose it in other areas of your life. And that's true for all things. So therefore, that focus exercise I told you about, either the not the lamp, but the candle or that dot, is exactly that. You need to focus on this, and then it'll help you to concentrate. Let's face it, this is so tough to fight. It's constantly binging at us. And ladies and gentlemen, I closed every one of my browsers before being on this call today with Mark, because everything bings all the time. So I have taken the habit of eliminate the things that are distracting so that I can focus 100%. If the people watching me right now don't think I'm focused on this conversation, well, think again. Does it come easily? Yes, only when you paid the price. My father used to say, if you make things easy at first, it's going to be hard for a long time. But if you make things hard at first, meaning pay the price, it's going to be easy for a long time. We decide. I've decided on doing the latter, meaning make it hard at first. And then it's going to be easy after because you develop the strength, the muscle, and the momentum necessary to overcome, like you said before, the obstacles of life that keep coming and coming. Thorns and thistles will torment thee every day of their life. And by the sweat of thy brow, thou shalt earn thy living. That's exactly it. And so if we think that, oh, I'm righteous for this or that, perish the thought. Actually, here we go. Even him, he was perfect. And then didn't like it. And so they crucify. So who do we think we are not to suffer in this? But we can have some strength. And if not from him, if you don't believe, that's fine. But get someone else. We cannot go through challenges alone. And one thing about challenges, when a challenge is hit, and some people says, man, it's as if I'm going through hell. Well, then keep going, because if you stop, you're going to burn. Keep going. Keep going. If we keep going, God cannot steer a parked car. Even if you're going in the wrong direction, at least he can steer you in the right direction if you keep moving. Keep moving. Just make it happen. And to make your moves more precise, a coach, someone that knows, will help you to save time and accelerate. Not, and if I may, not shortcuts. Shortcuts are not good. Shortcuts meaning using less of. Fast tracks, that's what matters. Fast track is someone that can give you all the pieces, but just make you go faster in them. Shortcuts, you're cutting corners. For example, you and I decide to build a building. And we say, oh, let's have some shortcuts. Let's use 50% of the material at every level. Foundation, 50%, first level, 50%, third level. When we get to the third level, what's going to happen? It's going to collapse by law because we took shortcuts. You can't. You got to do it right. And when you do it right, so you can find someone that can fast track you, not shortcut you. You're just bringing out some things in me of life is simple. It's not complicated. You have to pay the price if you want the reward. There is no such thing as free things in this world except the air that you breathe and the eyes that we have to see multiple things. And some people can't even do that. So we can't take anything for granted. But we need to go after it, and you need a why. And when you have that and you want to help others, let's go into something else. If your why is making some money, I want to make money. Well, let me tell you, when you climb the ladder of money and you get on top of that building, when you get on top of that building, you're going to say, oof, is that it? You're going to go right back down, and you're going to find for something else. So make sure that what you're looking for is something that's sustainable. Because money, we can make it. The money grows on trees. It does. But why are you doing it for? Is it to create memories? Is it to help others? Is it to enhance the quality of your life so you can be a beacon for others as well? This is something that needs to be decided by you and by any stretch of the imagination. Someone wants to do good, someone wants to do bad, someone wants to do a lot, someone wants to do a little. I'm okay with it. Are you happy doing what you're doing? And if not, seek out, do something else. And with me, I said, stop tiptoeing through life. Stop it. Just go. You have one life to live so live it every day, every moment. Breathe in and make it happen. Your smile can make a difference in people's lives. Your energy can lighten someone that's in a dark corner right now. We can make differences all the time. Am I the best at this? No. Am I failing every day? Am I getting back up every day and then dusting myself off to decide to do something better? And Tony talked about CANI, constant and never-ending improvement. A small percentage of better every day will bring you to something wonderful, wonderful. I'm married 35 years to the love of my life. And oftentimes, whenever she's about to leave or do something, oh, come here. I give her a hug, and I give her a hug a little longer. We look at each other's eyes. We have developed this throughout the years. You pay the price for it. And once you do, you get the rewards. The bigger the price you pay, the bigger the rewards you get. So what's the reward that you want? Caveat, watch it that the price that you pay is not killing every other areas of your life. Okay. I work with a lot of CEOs that dedicate themselves to building the company, and they neglect the family, the spouse, the kids, and next thing you know, they get sick and things. Is it worth it? No. According to whenever I talk to them, sometimes says, what was I doing? What was I thinking? It is possible to have a balanced life. I call it with rhythm, a wave. Life is a wave. Sometimes we put more into something and less into something else, but it needs to be in harmony. You cannot just do one thing in a silo and expect everything to come to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's yet it's possible to have success and have a nice family life if family life is what you want. But to have more balance in everything in your life, it is possible if we have structure and people help us to understand. Like I told you, you can see at things that I don't see. And if you help me as I communicate with you what it is that I want, we can together build something better than I can see by myself. Yeah.
This has been amazing. We've covered a lot of ground in a short period of time. When it comes to manifesting greatness in your life, if people are listening and watching, like, okay, there's a lot of good ideas here. Whether it's reinforcing something you said or something we haven't touched on yet, if you were to say, look, if you want to manifest greatness, at least do this. At least do this one thing above all else. What would you tell people to do?
Take action. One word, action. Take action. Even if you're doing an action that's not going in the right direction, then you can reflect on it. What results did it take? And then tweak it and do something else. But as you're moving, you're creating momentum. And that momentum, as I said before, even if it might be going in the wrong direction, at least you got momentum and you can move. Action. Action is the key. There's nothing created without action. Nothing. You need to take action. Yes, that's my key. And now, if you want to refine it, talk to others so that the actions can be more laser focused. Nevertheless, action is the key.
This has been excellent. If people want to find you online, where's the best place or places to
LinkedIn.
go?
LinkedIn is the best place. LinkedIn, Francois Lupien. My name, Francois Lupien on LinkedIn. You find me there and then let's connect. Absolutely.
Thank you again. I appreciate you, Francois.
Thank you so much, Mark. And thanks for all that you do. Taking the gems out of people and letting us come out with, like when we talked, you said, what are we going to talk about? I says, well, let's find out what's in there. And you're an expert at getting these ideas out. And sometimes it might be like drinking out of a fire hose, but nevertheless, you're very good at what you do. And you're bringing things to the table that others are not able to do. So I thank you for that. Thank you so much for what you do.
You're so welcome. And thank you again. This has been excellent, sir.
Thank you.
And scene.